Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. Some of you are relatively new viewers to the channel. I do welcome you. It was a busy weekend. It's been a busy couple of early days. Again, phone calls and PMs and text messages. Oh my, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Hopefully, some of the stuff pans out. I can't. Give you too many hints, but let's go with the public announcements because these are striking. These tell you how great a job Wizards of the Coast does with their marketing of 1.1. When Kobold Press says, hey, we recognize there's a problem here, and we have to make our own open and subscription free rule set for fantasy role playing, that tells me that Wizards of the Coast jumped the shark because Kobold Press, was likely the most popular, the best known, the most quasi-official third-party publisher of 5e material. So let's dive right into this. This is from January 10th. That's today. Oh, that's today. Oh my! By the way, this is I'm gonna leave links up. If you can't catch this from the link, it's because people are hitting it too hard. It's been down for part of the day. It was down earlier when I tried to access it. So, raising our flag to our fellow kobolds. Kobold Press has been and always will be committed to open gaming and the tabletop community. Our goal is to continue creating the best materials for players and game masters alike. Fair enough. This means Kobold Press will release its current Kickstarter projects as planned, including Campaign Builder Cities and Towns, already printed and on its way to backers this winter. In particular, Deep Magic Volume 2 will remain fully compatible with the 5e rules. We are working with our VTT partners to maintain support for digital platforms. Okay. As we look ahead, it becomes even more important for our actions to represent our values while we wait to see what the future holds. Interesting. We are moving forward with clear-eyed work on a new core fantasy tabletop rule set available, open, and subscription-free for those who love it. Codename Project Black Flag. All kobolds look forward to the continued evolution of tabletop gaming. We aim to play our part in making the game better for everyone. Notice that they're not talking about an edition. They're talking about gaming in general. Rest assured, Kobold Press intends to maintain a strong presence in the tabletop RPG community. We are not going anywhere. Well, I can tell you one place they're not going. They're not going to OGL 1.1. To receive further announcements and to register to playtest this new core fantasy rule set, please sign up via this form. Join the Kobold Press community at our official Discord to unlock new secrets about our upcoming project. Help us, raise the flag. Well, okay. But that's just Kobold Press. By the way, Kobold Press would be, of any of the companies, because they're so tightly entwined into 5th edition, D&D 5th edition, you would have thought they would have signed on to OGL 1.1 if OGL 1.1 were even slightly palatable. If they could choke it down, they would have. Wolfgang can't choke it down. That's how shitty it is. All right, so who else? Well, Troll Lord Games. Okay. Official statement from Troll Lord Games thread. Troll Lord Games has been a long supporter of Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons. We started playing D&D in 1976. Let me see if I can get this to zoom in at a point where I can actually read it, and you can read it. There you go. The news about the OGL 1.0A, if it is true, and it's important to note that as of this moment, nothing official has been released. That is true. Wizards of the Coast can certainly say, oh, that was just a work in progress, even though that was an executed contract and somebody actually, but that's not real. We're not really sticking with that 1.1. We're not going to. You lost trust of everybody. You let this fucking shit simmer. How about Wizards of the Coast? And by the way, folks, just so you know, now, D&D Beyond, we've heard your questions. Yeah, we'll have answers shortly. That was earlier today. So, um, I would say that Wizards of the Coast are trying to figure out how they can give a proper stroke job. And I know, folks, my language is horrible. Okay, but what Wizards of the Coast is doing is the acts performed by a crackhead hooker would be a lot better for you. I'll tell you that much. And I worked Hunts Point in the late 90s and early 80s as a cop. So they weren't good looking, and neither is this shit. It's important to note that at this moment, nothing is official has been released. It is rather important. Disappointing. Supporting the new OGL in the form it appeared in the lead commentary is not an option for us at Troll Lord Games. If it manifests in this spectacular form, it is unnecessarily harsh treatment for the entire tabletop RPG family, those who played, play, and who publish. It is basically an admission of distrust in the people who play their game, the very ones who bring it to ever greater heights of expression. Troll Lord Games does not share that philosophy. The only thing that maintains our stance in this tabletop RPG family is the family itself, creators, publishers, players, game masters, their own families, and friends who cheer them on from the sidelines. Troll Lord Games will not sign this leaked OGL, nor participate in any way. If you want to clear, that's a clear statement, right? Okay. Castles of Crusades and all the Siege Engine games are powered by the Siege Engine Attribute Check mechanic, which is owned entirely by a parent company, Chenault and Gray Publishing. What little pieces of the SRD leaked its way into our game over the years will quietly remove and carry on making and publishing games for all of us to play. Okay. What about Basic Fantasy RPG? Now, this is one of the oldest OSR games and one of the most accessible. You can buy the stuff pretty much at cost at Amazon. High quality stuff. It Manifesto of sorts, which is a plan as well. This is from Saturday the 7th. It doesn't matter whether Hasbro releases their new license or not. It doesn't matter whether it stands up in court or not. By the way, folks, just so you clear the air on this, if it goes to court and it is not immediately held in abeyance, and I'm not sure what the legal terms are. I'm not a lawyer. Don't play one on TV. I don't role play one. But if this OGL 1.1, what a fucking bullshit name that is, can go into effect, sure, in 3 or 4 years, maybe the publishers win. When 90% of them are out of business and everybody else is broke, what did you win? What did you win? So they know that. They know they can pound the gaming community, and it's the community, it's not just the publishers, the gaming community into fucking dust, and that's what they want to do. That is their intention. Assimilate or destroy. If you're not with us, you're off the playing field. Well, their attempt to validate the license we've always depended on and then to effectively steal what we created demonstrates that they are an existential threat to our game. They're an existential threat to any game that has used the open game license. Didn't say irrevocable, just said into perpetuity. Perpetual license. Perpetual until we stop time. So they're going to identify the SRD bits, extract them, remove them, and keep on publishing. Okay, well, what about Bill Webb? Bill Webb is Frog God Games. Now, Bill doesn't. Bill calls things as they are. And this is, and I've seen Bill say this straight out, okay? Bill's not saying donate money to a cause. Bill is saying, because this guy William Steffen put it best, Bill's been sharing this out. Please patron the third-party gaming industry companies in the immediate future if you have the means to do so. There's a strong possibility that their ability to offer new and wonderful products to the OGL may soon be either much more difficult or downright impossible. Again, in terms of the 1.1, not minor changes, folks. Okay? And if you're a Wizards of the Coast suck boy or suck girl, I'll be fair about it. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to be like, oh, it doesn't make a difference. If you're making less than $750,000, it doesn't make a difference. It does. Because you're giving up all rights to your product, your work. Isn't that great? So, support your OGL publishers, your third-party publishers. Support them. Our Better Worlds. This is Alexander Macris, or Macris. Alex, I get your last name right, wrong all the time. I want to say I want to do like Macris because it looks like it's, but I think he pronounces it Macris. It's like I pronounce my true last name differently than it's actually supposed to be because I'm a New Yorker. For the last 12 years, my company, Autark, has published my game Adventure Conquer King system under the terms of the OGL 1.0. For the last 5 years, Axe has been my full-time job. Now, Wizards of the Coast, and what I can only describe as an act of perfidious treachery. Alex, by the way, is a lawyer by trade, so there goes the big words. Had decided to retroactively authorize the OGL 1.0 and offer up a new Open Game License 1.1 to replace it. And then he goes on to some really deep thoughts. I'm going to include what it comes basically down to is you're giving up a lot of rights under 1.1 that you were not giving up before. And not the least of which is they can charge you 25% royalties on anything you earn over $750,000. And it's not profit that tax you on. That's revenue. And I got to keep on repeating that. People go, well, that's not a big deal. When it's your revenue that's being taxed at, you're being taxed by the tax man, sometimes state and local authorities, and you got to pay your freelancers, you got to pay your editor, your layout. Yeah. You could go broke doing that shit. So, Alex has a good breakdown. I'm not going to go through it because it is long, but it's worth the read. And he explains the cost involved in litigating this. $500,000 pretty much to start. 3.5 million over 3 years if it goes that long. That's the estimates he got from I believe an experienced IP lawyer. So we have new worlds opening, folks. You know what was it that song? Every new ending is every new beginning is another beginning's end, or something like that. But basically, this era is coming to an end. Okay, but there's a lot of opportunities starting because of this. Alex is going to give us a new version of Axe that will have an open license attached to it, the basic game. Kobold Press is working on a new, I'm assuming, D20 fantasy game. Other publishers are thinking of doing the same. It's going to be interesting. Heck, Monsters. The Trollhalla Press. Monsters as an inexpensive license if you want to use that rule system. It's a very generous license. I actually got a peek of it earlier today. I was talking with Steve Crompton. So there's a lot of options out there, folks. If you want to know what the future of my publishing will be, Continual Light will probably be put out with a SRD scraped out of it version of the rules. But I'm going to expand. I'm going to expand. Monsters is so close to Thousand and Trolls, system that I love. Why shouldn't I? Why can't I? So it's more options, folks. It's just you got to find them. I feel positive though. I got a good feeling that in the end, third-party publishing is going to be stronger because of this. Because if nothing else, Wizards of the Coast has found a way to unite opposition against it in a way you could never unite third-party publishers before. So for that, Wizards of the Coast, you've done the community a great service. I really, really thank you. And it didn't take much for you to do it, did it? You just had to be greedy fucks. So, greedy fucks. Great way to lose your community. Great way to lose your material that you didn't have to produce to support your game. Well, guess what? Now you're going to have to produce. That's awesome. That is what I find entertaining. That's entertainment. I should be singing that song all the day. All right. On that note, yes. There'll be a live stream tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Probably not much OGL talk. We'll be talking about North Texas RPG Con with the primary people, Gary and Mike. And Mike's my regular co-host on Wednesday night, so that should be fun. Other than that, be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, roll them well. All these links will be in the show notes. I know I've been getting lazy about pinning a comment, but it'll be in the show notes. You can find them there. If you find other stuff, send it to tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. If I don't respond to you, I'm sorry, man. If you're waiting on OSR Christmas stuff, I keep on getting shoved back a day after day after day because of the OGL drama. Sorry. All right. Latest.